Well guys, I'm back from hibernation again, and this time it's with the start of something I hope will be a running series on this channel just for the pure amusement of the audience. The Sonic Archie Comics, for those who don't know, was the original comic series for Sonic the Hedgehog that ran from 1993 to 2016. It's a series that honestly holds a special place in the hearts of many Sonic fans, including myself. If y'all don't know already, Sonic has kind of been my shit since I was 4 years old. So the Archie Comics series is something that I actually came across many years ago. I think I was at a Scholastic book fair for my school. Trust me, it was a while ago. I'm not really sure, but needless to say, my jaw dropped harder than my balls at the age of 13 when I first saw that first magical issue. I think it was a Sonic Select issue actually, but honestly, the only thing that was running through my head at the time was, holy cow, there are Sonic comics for my favorite character of all time? Fuck yeah. Unfortunately, I never ended up buying those issues, but I did end up getting a series of those Sonic comics around 2015, I think, when the Worlds Collide series actually came out. So I was actually really into Mega Man at the time. And when I first heard that there were comics with both Sonic and Mega Man, I knew, well, shit, I kind of have to go get it now. And needless to say, that started a very unhealthy obsession with Sonic comics that I actually didn't really revisit until earlier this year. But honestly, that Worlds Collide comic can be discussed at a later date. I really love it, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Actually, I really wanted to talk about with some of the more infamously wacky characters in this Archie Comics series that really stood out to me on first reading. So keep in mind, I've only read issues 160 through 290, so I don't think I even have the funniest ones, but trust me, this series is infamous for having cringy Sonic OCs that actually turn out to be, not half bad characters. And I won't be talking about the main Freedom Fighter cast today. I think we can save that for a part 2, and we can save all the really crazy characters for another day. But I just want to go over one of the big guys today, and just the genuine stupidity that comes with this specific character. And forgive me if this video is a lot more plot summary rather than commentary itself, but I feel like the backstory alone for these characters really brings out the batshit craziness of this series. Anyways, guys, let's take this shit down the toilet, shall we? Here is our first character that I really want to talk about from the original Archie Sonic comics. Now, I know starting off with this DeviantArt looking motherfucker is probably kinda tame, since he's kinda always the first to come up in these kinds of videos, but I think he's a good introduction to the kind of shit we're stepping into. So Scourge's backstory starts in, I believe, issue 11, when Sonic travels through the intergalactic interstate or whatever. There's this whole parallel universe bullshit that evil Sonic goes through, but it's honestly just as dumb as it sounds. Point is, Sonic lands in a Twilight Zone kind of world where everyone's personalities that are opposite to Sonic's home world exist. This leads to the introduction of evil Sonic. They fight, Sonic eventually kicks his ass, and then he finally moves on. Now, evil Sonic actually appears in a handful of issues over the years, and is mildly important to a couple of the arcs in the early Archie Sonic era. But to be honest with you, it's not really important until around issue 160, which, by the way, is where the actual good writer comes in, but that's beside the point. And, he actually turns green into, one of the worst designed characters I've ever seen. So pretty much, Knuckles' dad gets jumped by Rouge and Evil Sonic while guarding the Master Emerald. Now, if you know anything about Sonic lore, you'll know that Knuckles is the guardian in the games, so why is this old guy here? Well, the answer is Ken Pender's, but we'll get to him in a minute. So essentially, evil Sonic jumps on the Master Emerald, gets godlike powers, and fucks off to fight Sonic and Shadow, where he eventually loses. It's also when he officially changed his name to Scourge. Now, this leads to probably one of the most over-the-top moments in the whole series just a few issues later, where Scourge proceeds to team up with this Evanescence reject, beat up Sonic, and steal his girlfriend. No, I'm not kidding. This is a plot point in a Sonic property. The fact that Sonic loses his girl to a Guy Fieri in a furry suit is rich enough on its own, but believe me, it gets so much better. So this girl's name is Fiona Fox, alright? And her deal is that she was abandoned as a child in a cell for who knows how long. She eventually gets out and started working as a thief until she was eventually caught and reformed and then proceeded to start dating Sonic the Hedgehog. This is honestly not really too important, but I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of the backstory before we get into the juicy parts of this story. Now, where this gets super whack is that apparently Dr. Eggman made a robot version of her and used it to attack Tails after he quote-unquote fell in love with her in a very, very old issue, which means Tails still has some leftover attraction for the real version of Fiona Fox. I hope you guys see where this is going, by the way. So, when she finally reveals to Sonic that she's been cheating on him with Scourge, yes, that's also real, Tails comes out of nowhere to voice his complaints to the manager, and then confesses his love. And, in response, Fiona just bitch slaps Tails to the ground. I'm sorry, I can't anymore. It hurts my head. It's beautiful. I genuinely don't know how this series functioned from around issues 50 to 159. I don't get it, because these types of running plot points with forced drama and just soap opera type shit, man, it's simultaneously one of the most entertaining and hilarious pieces of fiction I have ever read. If this doesn't convince you to read the comics, man, I don't know what will. This shit's wild. It should be noted that these two get some spotlight in later issues along with their own stories, which are actually pretty good, but I think we should save those for another day. Right now, I want to talk about a man who I alluded to a couple minutes ago. Now, if you noticed, I mentioned this clown named Ken Penders a couple of minutes ago, and I did that for a reason. It's because this proud man-child is responsible for all the stupid-ass characters you'll see from around issues 10 to 160, with his garbage-ass character somehow being salvaged by an actual good author in Ian Flynn. In case you can't tell, Penders is a shitty artist and an even worse writer. I'm honestly going to save a rant for this guy for another day, because his clown show is deserving of a full dissection in a later video. He even bothers going on Twitter rants about the current Sonic comics, and I hate this guy. This guy is an absolute clown who's been salty for the better part of 10 years now. It is absolutely pathetic, and I hate him. He sucks. He ruined everything. Alright. I need to control myself. For now, though, I am gonna leave this video off here. If you guys did enjoy, please tell me if you want more. I promise this is only the tame stuff, and we haven't even scratched the surface of the weirdness of this comic. It's absolutely beautiful. I also plan to review the new IDW Sonic comic once it reaches the end of its current arc, which will be in a couple of months. And so far, it's actually been pretty damn good. So, anyways, that's all I've really got to say. Especially in these times where everybody's all cooped up and quarantined, I hope I can push out a couple more videos out to y'all whenever an idea pops into my head or something. I don't think it'll be gameplay related, but maybe something kooky like this. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. Stay safe, guys. Don't lick the toilet seats at your local Taco Bell. And have a good one.